sweet and sour pork is one of those sentimental dishes that you associate with your local Chinese takeaway store. So to start with, let's make this batter. First of all, 2 tablespoons of corn flour. That's the secret to it, corn flour, and 2 tablespoons of water. And we're just going to make a paste here. So combine that. We'll leave that there for a second while we get on to the other flavourings for this batter. We need 2 egg yolks. So we'll just separate 2 eggs here. We'll put the egg whites in here, and you don't have to throw those away. You can freeze them or use them for some beautiful meringues at a later date. And one more. We need some other seasonings for this. So 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, and I've really broken this recipe down so it's really simple to remember. Sesame oil, I love a good hit of sesame oil. So we'll do about half a teaspoon, and some Shaoxing wine or Chinese cooking wine. If you don't have this, you can definitely use some sherry. Again, 2 tablespoons. And now let's add this paste, because that's the thickening agent. That's what's going to stick all of those lovely flavours to the pork. Now, speaking of pork, I've got some pork neck here, and I've just cubed it, and we're just going to add that to our mixture here. We're going to mix it through, and this is the crucial part. You need to let this rest. So we'll get some cling wrap here, and now that goes into the fridge for at least 3 hours. This pork is ready to go, and now for the flour. So even amounts, about 1/4 cup each of plain flour, along with 1/4 cup of corn flour again. So there's a lot of corn flour in this, but that's the secret to getting that beautiful finish to it. Now we can start flouring our pork. You want to do this in batches because you don't want to overfill the pan. If you do, what will happen is it'll start to stew. We want a really fast, quick flash fry for this. So let's do a few pieces at a time, coat them, and just brush off any excess flour. And over here, we've got just some vegetable oil, and you can see there that it's at 180, so it's perfect for frying this. So very carefully, see that? Perfect little sizzle there. We want to lower in the pork pieces. Now the first batch is in. That's going to take around 2 minutes. I'm going to take it out and we'll fry the rest of this before we fry again for another 2 minutes, but it's totally worth it for that amazing texture on the pork. So we're up to the double frying of the pork, which gives me just enough time to make a really fast sweet and sour sauce. For the sour element, we've got some rice vinegar, and we want even amounts of sugar, so 1/3 cup of caster sugar. And then we want some extra yummy flavours. I love hoisin in this. We want about 1 tablespoon of hoisin. And we need some soy sauce also, so 1 tablespoon of soy. Perfect. And for some extra sweetness, I like to use some ketchup or just tomato sauce. And some ginger. Now, we all know I love a lot of ginger, so this is not traditional, but I think that it tastes fantastic. And you can see there, look how young that ginger is. Just with my grater, we're just going to grate straight into that sauce. Wonderful. That pork is actually ready to come out, but in the interim, let's put this on. So while this is boiling away, let's get this pork out, and you'll see, have a look at this. Oh, doesn't that look good? Little nuggets, little morsels of goodness. They're so crispy and crunchy, and I drain them really, really well. Also to this, you can't have sweet and sour pork without a little bit of pineapple. So fresh pineapple, around 225 grams. You can use canned for this too. And we need to get this extra thick. So what I've got here is, again, 1 tablespoon of corn flour with about 1 tablespoon of water, and that'll thicken it immediately. So just give that a stir until it thickens, and it'll start to bubble away again. Oh, it smells so good. Now, into a bowl, we can add our capsicum and our shallots. I like a lot of shallots for this, and I've just finely chopped them. We can add our crunchy pork bits here. Yum. And then we're going to pour all of that thick, lush sauce over the pork, all of that pineapple. And just with a spoon, coat that all. And then let's plate this up on a big plate. And this is, you know, for sharing for the whole family. Et voila. Sweet and sour pork, a takeaway made at home. It always tastes better. A little bowl of rice on the side, maybe some steamed greens. That is a sensational dish to try at home.